यमुना तेरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनंदन भज जन रंजन। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे रामा राम राम हरे हरे। गय राधा नील माधव, राधा नील माधव, राधा नील माधव श्री राधे। जय गौरनिता गौरनिता, गौरनिता श्री गौरनिता। जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद, जय जय प्रभुपाद। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजक आचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद् अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवत पुराण की जय। श्री गुरु और श्री गौरांग की जय। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकीं। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। I'll do English. Hare Krishna, we are reading from Canto 2 and Chapter 8, Questions by King Parikshit, and verse number 1. Rajovacha Brahmana chodito Brahman Gunakhyane Agunasya cha Yasmai Yasmai Yatha Praha Narado Devadarshanaha. ब्रह्मणा चोदितो ब्रह्मन् गुणाख्याने गुणस्य च यस्मै यस्मै यथा प्राह नारदो देवदर्शनः. ब्रह्मणा चोदितो ब्रह्मन् गुणाख्याने गुणस्य च यस्मै यस्मै यथा प्राह नारदो देवदर्शनः. ख्याने गुणस्य च यस्मै यस्मै यथा प्राह तो देवदर्शन जोवाच ख्याने गुणस्य च. राजोवाच न चोदितो ब्रह्म आख्याने गुणस्य च यस्मै यस्मै यथा प्राह नारदो देवदर्शन. राजा the king Vacha inquired Brahmana by Lord Brahma, Choditaha being instructed, Brahman, O learned Brahmana, Shukadev Goswami, Gunakhyane, in narrating the transcendental qualities, Agunasya of the Lord, who is without material qualities, Cha and Yasmai, Yasmai, and whom, Yatha, as much as, Praha explained, Naradaha, Narada Muni, Devadarshanaha, one whose audience is as good as that of any demigod. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace C.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki King Parikshit inquired from Shukadev Goswami, how did Narada Muni, whose hearers are as fortunate as those instructed by Lord Brahma, explain the transcendental qualities of the Lord, who is without material qualities, and before whom did he speak? Devarshi Narada was directly instructed by Brahmaji, who was also directly instructed by the Supreme Lord. Therefore, the instructions imparted by Narada to his various disciples are as good as those of the Supreme Lord. That is the way of understanding Vedic knowledge. It comes down from the Lord by disciplic succession. And this transcendental knowledge is distributed to the world by this descending process. There is no chance, however, to receive the Vedic knowledge from mental speculators. Therefore, wherever Narada Muni goes, he represents himself as authorized by the Lord, and his appearance is as good as that of the Supreme Lord. Similarly, the disciplic succession, which strictly follows the transcendental instruction, is the bona fide chain of disciplic succession. And the test for such bona fide spiritual masters is that there should be no difference between the instruction of the Lord, originally imparted to his devotee, and that which is imparted by the authority in the line of disciplic succession. How Narada Muni distributed the transcendental knowledge of the Lord will be explained in the later cantos. It will appear also that the Lord existed prior to the material creation, and therefore his transcendental name, qualities, etc., do not represent any material quality. Whenever, therefore, the Lord is described as aguna or without any quality, it does not mean that he has no quality, but that he has no material quality, such as the mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance, as the conditioned souls have. He is transcendental to all material conceptions, and thus he is described as a guna. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमावों विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। With the blessings of their Lordship Shri Shri Radha, Neelamadhav, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai, Shri Lakshmi Nrsimhadev Bhagavan, and all the Acharyas in the Parampara, Srila Prabhupada, and all the senior devotees here, and all the assembled Vaishnavas. I would like to seek your blessings to speak on this verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. So this, in the last chapter, there were so many wonderful description of Lord's incarnations, and also Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan, and like this, so many concepts were described. And in this chapter, Parikshit Maharaj is going to ask many more questions. Huge list of questions which is going to come in this. That's why this chapter is also titled as Questions by Maharaj Parikshit. So now this is the first shloka which Parikshit Maharaj is asking. He's saying that Narad Muni has received this knowledge from Brahmaji directly, and surely he must have given this knowledge to also somebody else. And it is said, Narad Muni is told as Deva Darshanaha, Deva Darshana means his audience is as good as audience means his darshan is as good as having a darshan of any exalted soul, Deva, demigod, like that it is mentioned. And what does he describe? He is describing Gunakhyani, the glories of the Supreme Lord. Guna Akhyana. Akhyana means explanation of the gunas. And he's explaining the qualities of whom? That person who has no qualities. That means agunasya, that is mentioned. Here, agunasya, Prabhupada is telling in the purport that aguna means that person who has no material qualities, not made of any modes, three modes of material nature, but that qualities are transcendental qualities. So, he is explaining about that Supreme Lord. Yasmai, Yasmai. About whom? That person who is aguna. So, like this, he is describing all these qualities. And that knowledge is actually coming in disciplic succession. That knowledge is not just any knowledge which is manufactured in one's own brain. So, in the beginning, so many times we hear what is the way, what are the different ways of gaining knowledge. Even in our beginning of our Krishna consciousness or beginning of hearing philosophy, we hear that there are three pramanas or three ways of gaining knowledge. So the first person in the universe, also Brahmaji, when he was wanting to gain knowledge, he was wanting to understand. As soon as he took birth from the lotus which is born out of the navel of Mahavishnu, from Garbhodakashayi Vishnu. And from that place, he could see that the entire surrounding was filled with so much of darkness, and he was not able to see anything. At that time, he was also wanting to gain knowledge. So he was also trying to see with his eyes, but everything was filled with darkness, and he was trying to use his senses to gain knowledge. So, but he understood that that was not being effective, because he also went down from the lotus stem, and then he was trying to see whether some knowledge is available. What will I, whether I can understand. So, but he understood that by through his sensory perception, he couldn't gain knowledge. So, so then when Pratyaksha Praman failed, so he was thinking he can gain knowledge through some Anuman. He was trying to guess how things will work. He was trying to use his brain with four heads, but somehow that also didn't work. But finally, when he heard Shabda, that is Tapa, at that time he started doing the tapasya. So by that, after doing the tapasya, then the knowledge was revealed to him. So that knowledge is what was revealed to him is uh, it is mentioned, that is the Gayatri. And then he also gave that knowledge to Brahmaji, and the entire knowledge of Bhagavat Tattva. He is the person who originally received it, and then he transmitted it to Narad Muni, and Narad Muni is also transmitting it to many others. Prabhupada says that this knowledge is what Narad Muni spoke, that is explained in later cantos. So we hear that he spoke to Dhruv Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Yudhishthir Maharaj, and so many, Prachina Barhi. Like this, he has given this knowledge to various. Now, sometimes one may question whether whatever I have received, uh, unless I do, unless I add little more, then my contribution will not be much. So I should also do something. So sometimes people, whatever they have, let's say a person has a business, he has explained it, he has expanded it in one city, and now his children are there. Now, if the son inherits the property of that business and he keeps it only that much, he doesn't expand it, then other people will come and scold, "Arey, what are you doing? Your father has done so much, but you are not doing anything extra. So you should also add something." So now sometimes one may feel that I have to also supposed to, if one has received something from parampara, so is it that should we add anything to that knowledge? Now one reporter came to Prabhupada, not reporter, he was probably he was another religious professor. So he came to Prabhupada and he asked, I have read the commentary of Ramanuja on Bhagavad Gita, and I have also read your commentary, and I see that there is hardly any new thing that you have given. You have given the same thing what Ramanuja has given. So what is the difference? What is so unique about your commentary? And Prabhupada actually, it was a critical remark that Prabhupada received. But it was so amazing that Prabhupada took it as a compliment. Prabhupada said that thank you for giving such a remark. That I have not missed anything that Ramanuja has given or previous acharyas have given. And I have not changed also anything. I have given the thing as it is. So Prabhupada said, my contribution to this parampara is I have kept the knowledge as it is. I have not changed anything. I have not added anything. I have not diluted anything. I have not subtracted anything. I have not deleted also anything. So in usually in our software database, 4 operations come. And they are addition, updation, modifying and deletion. These saying whatever the knowledge that we have received in parampara, if we are not doing, if we are just transmitting as it is, just like we see this glass. This glass is without any color or without any design also, but it is just transmitting the light perfectly well. So if we become transparent via medium of the knowledge of Guru Parampara, knowledge also is not just, Prabhupada also mentions the knowledge should not be just like a parrot repeating the knowledge, but also it should transform ourselves also, and also then it should also make an impact on others when it is being transmitted. So now, so what is the impact that it should make on us, and what is the impact that it should make on others? Now, what is the guarantee that whatever knowledge that we are transmitting, whether it is impactful, whether it is making its desired result, whether it is bringing its desired result? So, in the Bhagavad Gita, there is one very nice. I'll just share this shloka. Krishna is asking, this is 18.72 Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna is asking, Kachchidetat shrutam partha tvaekagrena chetasa kachchid ajnana sammoha pranashtaste dhananjaya. So Krishna is asking Arjuna that, oh Arjuna, you have heard this entire knowledge, what I have spoken. But have you heard it very attentively? Tvaekagrena chetasa. Have you heard with full attention? जय श्री श्री राधा नीलमाधव भगवान की, श्री श्री गौर निताय की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की. So have you heard it with full attention? Have you given your best effort to understand? And after hearing, is the desired result of ajnana sammoha pranashtas. Pranashta means has it gone dispelled? That which darkness had covered your vision, has it gone out? So this is what he's asking. So Prabhupada is giving very wonderful purport to this. I will just read this purport. The Lord was acting as the spiritual master of Arjuna. Therefore, it was his duty to inquire from Arjuna whether he understood the whole Bhagavad Gita in its proper perspective. So now, if not, the Lord was ready to re-explain any point. That means if Arjuna would have told, no, I have not understood, then Prabhupada says that he would have actually he was ready to repeat the whole Bhagavad Gita, what he said. he was ready to re-explain any, suppose, one section, or he was ready to explain the whole Bhagavad Gita if it was required. Actually, anyone who hears Bhagavad Gita from a bona fide spiritual master like Krishna or his representative will find that all his ignorance is dispelled. Bhagavad Gita is not an ordinary book written by a poet or a fiction writer. It is spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Any person fortunate, so Prabhupada is saying, anyone who is hearing from this Bhagavad Gita should also experience the same result. The result is what? Pranashtaste ajnana sammohaha. That should happen. Any person fortunate to hear these teachings from Krishna or his bona fide spiritual representative is sure to become a liberated person and get out of the darkness of ignorance. So that means either one can hear directly from Krishna or he can hear directly from the representative of Krishna. Now, in the case of Narad Muni, he heard it from representative of Krishna, that is Brahma, and Brahma heard the knowledge directly from Krishna. And now it is said, Narada also gave the knowledge to somebody else. But all the people who is receiving the knowledge, they're all experiencing the same result as Arjuna experienced, or as Brahma experienced, or as Narad Muni experienced. All of them are receiving the same knowledge and they are experiencing the same effect which they are supposed to experience. So what is the effect that Arjuna experienced? It is mentioned here. So all of you can repeat. Nashto moha smritirlabdha त्वत्प्रसादान् मयाच्युत स्थितोऽस्मि गतसन्देहः करिष्ये वचनं तव. So he is experiencing two results which is within, which is not visible outside. That is nashto mohaha smritir labdha. That means he is able to experience that ignorance that has gone out, and also he has regained his memory. That memory is what? That memory is of divine knowledge and wisdom. If it was mere theoretical knowledge, it will go at any time. But if it is wisdom, it will stay with oneself. So he has received, that ignorance has gone out and the wisdom has come about. And that has come about by Tvat Prasadan, prasad of Lord Achyuta. And the external visible result is what? Sthitosmi gatasandeha karishye vachanam stava. And his doubt has gone out, and also he is ready to do whatever is spoken by the Lord. So that means the internal and external results are visible. Internal is visible more to oneself, and for others it is visible by one's external actions. So what is the proof that one is connected to parampara? Is all these results should manifest in a devotee. So Prabhupada gives a very long purport. So, but the essence is that when Arjuna understood that it was Krishna's plan to reduce the unnecessary increase of population, he agreed to fight according to Krishna's desire. He again took up his weapons, arrows and bow, to fight under the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That means the external manifestation of that transformation of his personality and also his wisdom. So that is externally visible. So what is now, many times people may have a question that as it is progressing down the line, whether the knowledge will get diluted. How can we know? So this question was asked once to Prabhupada. So Prabhupada writes in one of the letters like this. So you all can hear. Yes, whoever you tell to chant to, it is effective. You have heard it from me. Prabhupada is saying this. You have heard it from me and my disciples. Similarly, I have heard it from my Guru Maharaj. And so on. Because you have heard it from a pure devotee of the Lord, therefore it is transmitted from you to another. Just as an aerial message, it is transmitted from one place to another. Similarly, this Guru Parampara system is working. My disciples are my agents, my representatives. So by hearing it from them, you are receiving it from me. And because you are a sincere soul, those who are hearing the mantra from you, they are also receiving it in disciplic succession from Lord Chaitanya and from Lord Krishna. So what is Prabhupada trying to say here? So because it is coming in disciplic succession parampara, so that then what we have received also is the same message what Arjuna has received or Brahmaji has received, and what we are giving, that also is of the same quality. Now sometimes we get a question. Um, this is this one paragraph. I wanted to read. This is from. This is from Vani Vaibhav of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Uh, this is very important for now. What is the guarantee that we are also, because it is said we are also receiving it in parampara, and we are also supposed to give it in parampara. What is the guarantee that we are able to represent properly? So here very nicely the Bhaktivinoda Thakur is mentioning. I'll read it. The process of accepting a sampradaya is extremely beneficial for the living entity. So at any cost, any living entity who is wandering in the material world, he is anath. He doesn't have any master. He doesn't have any person who is actually caring for him. He is a soul who doesn't have any shelter. That person, if he somehow comes in touch with this parampara, it becomes so great fortune. If one takes shelter of a bona fide sampradaya, one can easily take shelter of the lotus feet of saintly person, learn religious principles, discuss spiritual topics, and gradually become detached from worldly affairs. All these things are easily done if one is connected to parampara. But if one thinks that I will learn on my own, I will read, because so many books are already there. You see, nowadays there is now one website is made where all Hindu books, everything is there. All Puranas are there, all Vedas are there, Upanishads are there. Actually, it's a great work compared to so much in previous times. So many books are actually getting lost. The knowledge is getting lost. But one good thing is all this knowledge is available. At least some soft copy is being made and it is available for one and all to read. But how many people are getting transformed? Still, people's mentalities have not changed. Still, people's character has not upgraded. Still, the same old mentality and qualities, habits are there, even the knowledge is available. So that means knowledge, if it is not with coming with a devotee or a practitioner, that person who is receiving the knowledge will not have any effect. That I'll just discuss in some time. But here it is mentioned, if one can take shelter of a bona fide sampradaya, what can happen is he will receive association of sadhus, because in sampradayas there will be many others also who will be practicing, and from them he can learn religious principles. Religious principles are not which is just which is there in the book, and I can just read it and learn it. Nobody will be inspired to learn any religious principle unless they see it in some devotee. uh, Otherwise so many books are available, but nobody is getting transformed, even though right knowledge is available. But when they see that somebody is applying it and somebody is practicing it, then it will make a much greater impact. So then discuss spiritual topics and gradually becoming detached from worldly affairs. That detachment also is possible only in association of devotees. As long as one has a tendency to mingle with persons from unauthorized sampradayas and engage in argument and counter argument for one's whole life, one can never achieve perfection. It is said, if one is associating with devotees from one bona fide sampradaya, but is also making he is also associating with other devotees or other practitioners from non-bona fide sampradaya, that is apasampradayas. If he is associating with both, here he is saying, as long as one has the tendency to associate with and mingle with those who are non-sampradaya people, then what will happen? He'll unnecessarily engage himself in arguments and conflicts within his own mind, and also he'll do arguments with others. And because of which one will never to reach any conclusions in one's life. Useless people, occasionally seeing some selfish persons from bona fide sampradaya, indulge in sinful activities, condemn the process of bona fide sampradaya. Now, there may be some people in bona fide sampradaya, bona fide devotees, they are connected to bona fide sampradaya, but they are not exhibiting proper character, they are not exhibiting proper qualities. Then what happens? Some people who may come in their association, then what they may see that this person has these kind of qualities. Better let me not associate, so they'll go away. And where they'll go away? They'll go back to material world. And when they go back to material world, they are back into the same association of materialists. So that's what he's saying. They again indulge in sinful activities. And then they condemn this bona fide sampradaya. That's why, so one is a duty on the part of a person who is representing sampradaya. How does he represent? If he is not able to represent properly, then he is going to create so much of faithlessness in so many people. And also on the other hand, it is mentioned the duty of an intelligent person. Now it is on the part of a person who is receiving knowledge. It is mentioned the duty of an intelligent person is what? To try to purify the sampradaya after joining it. So that means after we join sampradaya, it is our duty to purify. So now many times we think, so I have so many things to purify. So many things are there wrong, so I need to purify. So most important is first purify oneself also, because so many good things are also available in the sampradaya. Of course, there may be some minute things which may be not up to the mark, but we have so many things which are, so many anarthas are already there within us. So first we can try to purify ourselves, and then also see what is room for our improvement in the sampradaya or in a spiritual organization, anything wherever we are connected to, whatever we can do to fill the gaps, so that those who new people, those who are not, those are looking for Krishna, those are looking for spiritual knowledge, when they come, they find shelter in it. So when good items are not available in the market and various artificial items are abundant, it is sensible to reform the market. If someone tries to stop the process of selling altogether, you can never praise his intelligence. The founder acharyas of sampradayas created the system of sampradaya for the benefit of the people of the world. So that means when Bhaktivinoda Thakur came, he reformed the sampradaya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had come and he had re-established, but so many apasampradayas started. When so many apasampradayas started, that time Bhaktivinoda Thakur thought, now this is a time when I have to remove all these apasampradayas and re-establish. And when he saw that Bhaktivinoda Thakur, after Bhaktivinoda Thakur also, Bhaktivinoda Thakur was praying, so please give a messenger of yours who can re-establish in a powerful way all over the world. At that time, when he was praying, that time Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur appeared. And Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur also established all over India. But he, from him, he was supposed to establish all over the world. He did it through Prabhupada. So like that, if at all we want to benefit anybody in this world, first of all, we have to benefit ourselves, and then we can do something to fill the gaps in the sampradaya, in the disciplic succession, whatever is going on. So this is from Sajjana Toshini of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So, and towards the, if at all I want to conclude, what is being mentioned here is the knowledge has to come in sampradaya. There is no place for any mental speculation. Prabhupada has made it clear in the purport. And the knowledge in sampradaya has to be kept in its purity. If we dilute the message, then there is no point. So dilution should not be done, and a new addition should not be done. Any subtraction, any modification, all these things will only contaminate. But if we can keep up its original purity of the sampradaya, then we are doing good for ourselves, and we are also doing good for other people in this world. So last still another 2 minutes is left. I'll read one more. So now sometimes people may ask, what is there any need of disciplic succession? Can it not be done? There are so many great souls also who have not been in any disciplic succession, but they have become perfected souls. We may say that people may quote Mirabai. Is she not a pure devotee? She also was. She also became perfected. So why can't we also? Why do we need this sampradaya unnecessarily? It is too much cumbersome. So now here it is mentioned. No book is Bhaktivinoda Thakur is mentioning. No book is without errors. That means any book, even if you take Bhagavad Gita, if you see Bhagavad Gita, in Bhagavad Gita it is mentioned as second edition. We say many times while we are distributing Bhagavad Gita, we say the only one book which is not being edited till now, we say it is Bhagavad Gita. And they may open our own Bhagavad Gita and they may say that your book has second edition. So what is being edited, that is also important to look at. Now sometimes even our devotees, they say that sometimes Prabhupada books are also little editing is happening. But one thing is the essence, if the essence is kept intact, and what is being edited in Bhagavad Gita is also what Prabhupada spoke. There were some grammatical errors which was being made while transcription. So that is being edited. So in that sense, but Krishna's words are apaurushaya, without any fault. So, but when it starts coming down to in the hands of many generations, what may happen is there may be some errors which may creep in. That's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, no book is without errors. God's revelation is absolute truth, but it is rarely received and preserved in its original purity. Many times impurity will creep in. So truth that has been revealed is absolute. But over the course of time, it becomes tainted by nature of receivers. And from age to age, it is transformed by the continual change of hands. When it is going from one hand to another hands, by the nature of people involved in the parampara, by the nature of living entities who are receiving it and giving it to somebody else. We see nowadays also, whatever we have received, even we see from Prabhupada's time and now, there is an evolution even in ISKCON. The way exactly, there has been so many changes also that have happened. So continuous evolution is going to, it is going to happen. But what has to be kept notice, he is mentioning, new revelations therefore are continuously necessary to keep the truth in its original purity. The purity has to be maintained. Now sometimes things may go down, but again something has to be done to bring it up. So it is a continual change, because material world is a place where it is constant degradation is going to happen. So something is going to, so even if we say, now let's say if house we have constructed, that house also has to be continuously maintained, then only it will stay for long. Now any house is just constructed and left for 10 years, but nobody has used this, nobody has maintained it, then after that it is going to fall off. That's how the parampara also has to be, devotees who are staying in the parampara, practicing, they also have the duty of keeping the purity of the parampara in their own life, and also in transmission. So that's what Bhaktivinoda Thakur is mentioning. So that is my small understanding of this shloka. So thank you all very much. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्णा। प्रभु
telling about personalities who don't come in the sampradaya, who don't come in sampradaya, but they are exalted devotees. So about that you started, no? So that part you didn't complete, I think.
I was just saying because this is the question which was asked to Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Is there a need of perpetual disciplic succession? Now some people may become like that, exalted souls, but how many people are becoming actually like that? Books are there. Now Mirabai also would have spoken so many bhajans, but how many people are actually becoming able to follow what Mirabai is saying? That's why when parampara is there, somebody will be there to keep up that standards again. You can re-establish same message, same principles. Somebody has to uphold it again and again. That's what parampara is required. That's what Bhaktivinoda Thakur is mentioning. Books are there, knowledge is there, but somebody has to come again and re-establish. So that's the duty of sampradaya.
Imagine that means we say now the four sampradayas are there.
Huh.
So like if somebody takes inspiration from say Mirabai or something, and then he spreads that message, and then somebody catches that and then again spreads. So like that parampara will start, suppose. So then we can call that also as bona fide, or how?
But sampradaya is actually what it means is what one has received from his guru, he gives it. If he is giving on his own, at least he has to receive some sanction from somebody. If he is not receiving sanction, then
Many times there are revelations from Lord, not directly.
If Lord has revealed, then it will also get. Surely, if it is Lord is revealing, then that will also make an impact on others. And also other gurus also may understand if it is Lord's revelation. But how many times whether it is truth, Lord's revelation?
They may not come in for sampradaya. So that is okay. Or like suppose somebody getting revelation from Lord, but he may not be in the four sampradayas. So how much authentic?
So officially, Lord has established official four sampradayas, and also there are some single devotees, standalone devotees, who are there anywhere. There are many devotees who may not be officially connected to sampradaya, but they have been exalted devotees also. So such is possible. So Lord has also given exceptions. But if at all one wants to, that's what now somebody wants to get an engineering degree. He has to get admitted to any particular college. But there have been those are not admitted also in college, but they are doing, they are already established engineers also are there. So that is also possible. But if one wants to learn properly, he has to get admitted to any sampradaya. Without getting admitted into any sampradaya, then there is no process of learning. Sadhana, bhakti.
For sadhana.
My understanding, if any others are there, they can add. Thank you all. Thank you, Prabhuji. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद।